Happy Tuesday, Jar of Pain babies. It is great to hear from you again. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Jar of Pain podcast. It's been a wonderful weekend. It's a wonderful Sunday. The Packers are ahead 13-7, about to go into halftime, and I am loving that. Truthfully, I am loving that. It's been a great weekend. I visited my brother and sister-in-law in the cities, just kind of chilling out now, picked up around the house, making soup later. Very common Sunday activity for Matt, making soup. Just a reminder, we do have a show coming up on December 7th at the Eau Claire Improv. You can buy tickets right now. You can find the link to that on jarofpain.com or by Googling Jar of Pain Live December 7th. It should show up. The ticket link will be volume1tickets.org. So I appreciate you all. As always, you can ask a question for us, silly or serious, about life. And that'll be done at jarofpain.com. I think I may have already said that. I don't know. I'm a little out of it because I'm just so chill right now. God, I'm just so chill right now. But yeah, I hope all your dreams come true. You know, today's a beautiful day to be alive. I don't care what day you're listening to this on. It is a beautiful day to be alive, you know? Sometimes life has pain. Sometimes life is great, but in order to understand the great, you have to have the other side as well. You have to life is about contrast. Feeling anything is contrast, my babies. You don't understand heat if you don't understand cold. You don't understand light if you don't understand the dark. That's what the whole show's about. And just a reminder, too, I actually don't even have a title for this episode yet, but tell your friends. Let's grow the show together. Tell your friends about this podcast. What do you like about it? I've met a few of you guys, you listeners in the wild now, and you always have great words to say to me about the show, and that means obviously so much. Please don't be scared. One time someone came up to me at a wedding, and she said, apparently she was nervous. She didn't want to approach me and tell me how great I was. And let me tell you, I'll always take those compliments. So yeah, tell a friend why you like the show. If you're listening to this right now, I think you understand that life is a little crazy, but if you don't have laughter, you don't have anything at all. So if you're like me, which I think you are, tell a friend. Help us grow this show. I really love this show, and I want to keep doing it forever. It is going to change a bit. We're going to evolve it over time. That's why if you've seen the poster for the next show, it does say The Last Jar of Pain as We Know. We got a lot of great ideas we're cooking up, and I love it. We're always going to be answering your questions. We're just going to be kind of modifying the way in which we do that. So more to come about that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope all your dreams come true. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are safe. Have a good one. Bye.
Jar of Pain, what time is it? 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 Jar of Pain, what time is it?
And we're back.
We're back.
This is the Jar of Pain podcast, the podcast where comedians Ben Malachoski and Matt Hasenmueller answer life's toughest questions submitted by you, the audience. You can submit your questions at jarofpain.com. From serious to and we're back.
We're back.
This is the Jar of Pain podcast, the podcast where comedians Ben Malachoski and Matt Hasenmueller answer life's toughest questions submitted by you, the audience. You can submit your questions at jarofpain.com. From serious to silly, I can't promise you that we're going to be right, but Ben?
We'll be passionate when we do.
Cool. Well, Ben?
Yeah?
I don't think anyone should vote.
That's a take.
Yeah.
Please continue that line of thought.
So today starts 2 weeks to the election,
Yep.
and Eau Claire has early voting at City Hall. If
Sure.
you live in Eau Claire, you can vote at City Hall. I don't know if you've driven around downtown, but they closed off all these streets in preparation for what they're calling over 6,000 vehicles for early voting the next 2 weeks. So it took me 15 minutes to get to work today. It normally takes me 2.
That is crazy because you literally live 2 blocks away.
I had to go all the way through downtown to Madison Street and then cut up to Amber Inn and then down.
That is ridiculous.
And dude, tired at 7:55 in the morning? That's not, my brain doesn't have the capacity. And then trying to get home, I mean, that bridge is what I use. That's my outlet to 53. That's everything. So like I had to go all the way, like I had to go down and get down back on this street, this main street, not Main Street, but Farwell, the main street.
Yeah.
And traffic is so bad at 5 p.m. right there. I won't call it rush hour because what we have in Eau Claire is nothing compared to like bigger cities.
It's like brisk hour.
Yeah, it's brisk.
Yeah.
And you got idiots. And then you got people trying to cross the street on pedestrians by foot. And like, that's okay because people should walk. I'm fine with that.
But knees to chest, okay? Get going.
But they don't, if I were them, I always try to look for, when it's a busy time, I try to look for a crosswalk. Even if it's a block down, I'll go to the crosswalk that has a light so I can wait for the signal.
Sure.
They're not doing that. They're just crossing whenever they want because they have the right of way, which again, I agree with. I agree pedestrians should have the right of way. But I'm already sick of it. My boss is pissed because they've essentially closed down all outlets to the business. And the Lakely and the Oxbow and Hive and Hollow and the new obscurity place, the Beyond, which is a really cool store you should go to. It's like got just weird taxidermy and old horror movies on VHS. It's a pretty cool spot. But I can't believe City, when I'm in charge, don't you think like affected businesses should be consulted before they shut down traffic to their areas? And this isn't construction. This is a choice they're making. It's not like the road needs to be fixed. I'm sorry it sucks, but it happens to everybody eventually. Don't you think like a letter and then the business owners can be like, hey, you did it. You've done it. This is the first time you've done it like this. We can't base our early voting and like, you know, this is a COVID protocol they started during COVID because it's in your car. So like you don't have to go into a building. I'm okay with early voting, but shouldn't we shouldn't assume the same amount of people are going to vote this way, drive up voting in this election as 2020. It's a different time. 2020 election was like masked up, social distant. No one wanted to go outside. We're living in the future now. Like we can't assume the same amount or more people are going to do early voting. Am I crazy for that assumption?
No, that's a good assumption, I would say.
So what I'm saying is no one should vote because it takes me a long time to get to work. And I don't like that.
I concur.
Thank you.
That's why we should just stop voting altogether and, just let society collapse upon itself. And then we birth something new from its ashes.
I also did sign up to win $1 million from Elon Musk.
How do you do that?
He put up a thing. It's official. I heard about it on the news. In every swing state, Elon Musk is one, he'll pay you to sign a petition for free speech. I can agree with that.
Sure.
I know he thinks it means something different than I do, but I can agree with that.
I feel like there's something ironic about paying someone to sign a petition for free speech.
Yeah. So he'll pay you $45 to do it.
Sick.
And in the swing states, he is giving away $1 million to one person from every swing state. So someone in Pennsylvania like won 2 days ago.
Nice.
And here's the catch. You got to go to a Trump rally and shake the man's hand and talk about free speech. But I would do that for $1 million. Would you? I think anybody would.
I just have to shake his hand.
Well, you have to like be part of the rally.
Yeah, I'll do that for $1 million.
See, but we're uniquely qualified for that.
Yeah.
We improvise.
Yeah, there is nothing like that's just a family reunion for me. Like there's nothing about that's taxing.
And here's a question. Would you suck Donald Trump's dick for $1 billion? Everyone knows about it.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. Everyone knows you did it. Would you do that?
Yeah.
My brother asked me that last night. I don't think
Bro, that's fuck you money.
But I can't ever do anything ever again.
Who cares? Yes, you can. You've got $1 billion.
No, but like people need to like you to do what I like to do.
Yeah, you can do that with $1 billion.
Not if they don't like me. Forever known as the guy who sucked Trump's dick for $1 billion.
Bro, Stormy Daniels did it for like 47,000.
She's different than me. Stormy Daniels isn't trying to be a professional performer.
That's great. But also that That's so much.
Let's say I got the money and I've made this incredible movie. It's everything I wanted to direct and write. It's my life's work. Every headline will be guy who sucked Trump's dick makes movie.
Okay, firstly, those will just be the headlines on the outlets that are your haters. Okay. But your real fans, they will be a fan of that movie and you sucking Trump's dick for $1 billion.
I just don't think I can live it down.
I think you can do it.
Okay, let's get to the first question. I would do it.
That's
it's
right.
$1 billion.
It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
With a B. Whack it or smack it.
This is one of those dumb questions that people put in the jar to confuse us.
Are we talking like jerking off or child abuse?
It doesn't say. So I don't know. I've never smacked myself to fruition. I can tell you that much. Title.
Smack myself to fruition?
I've never done it.
Never done it?
Completion, I should say. I don't know if I could.
Smacking? No, that takes a special type of trauma to get to that type of finish.
I know that it does happen.
Oh, it definitely happens. I can't really work with this one either. Whack it or smack it. I need another noun. I need another.
Whack it or smack it. How do you do? Something like that.
Yeah.
But just to get through this question, I'll say whack it.
And just to be different, I'm going to say smack it.
Cool, man.
Nice. There we go. Now you'll never know what the
coming out of the gate really strong, guys.
What the definitive answer is to whack it or smack it.
If you think you have a better question than that, then whack it or smack it, you can put your question in the jar at jarofpain.com.
Jarofpain.com. I'll tell you what a better question is than that question.
This one.
Is it normal to want to be pegged?
See, finally, a good question.
That person gets it.
Yeah.
Okay. Matter of fact, if they were to phrase their question like your question better than your question, because it'd be like pegged or not pegged.
Yeah, exactly. The answer's there. I mean, it's easy. What we're doing is not rocket science.
It's not. And you're just making it difficult.
But Ben, the question stands.
Is it normal to want to be pegged? To want? That's the question. Like, you want it? Like, I'll tell you right now, I've been cutting back on soda. I really want a soda.
I thought you were going to say I've been cutting back on pegging.
I've been cutting back on getting pegged.
And now I really want it.
But if I flip it, if I take out soda and I put in pegged, that is pretty hardcore.
I don't think it's that hardcore.
It's kind of hardcore.
You think so?
Yeah. You just want to get stuff in your ass. Like, I want a soda right now. It would be abnormal.
It would be weird if right now I was like, God, I wish something was in my ass.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes things happen in the heat of the moment.
But every now and then. Yeah. It's fine.
I'm no stranger to a new thing in the orifice.
What are the things? Are we talking fingies? We talking
fingies? Yeah, I'm no stranger to that.
Yeah,
and I think it's enjoyable.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the right time to confess.
I like how you've literally told people you've had a Coke problem.
It was never a problem. It was a summer.
Sorry, White Coke summer.
Yeah, I had a cocaine summer.
Title.
That's fine.
But now you're like, this is where the line is. That's interesting to learn where the line is in comedy.
Well, and I've just been saving this story
for what, your wedding?
For Joe Rogan.
Okay, that's fair.
You know? But you know what? I'll go ahead and do it. When I was a wee lad, 6th or 7th grade, I Googled how to make jerking off feel better.
Okay.
You know, sure. I had the internet.
Yeah.
I also had a time that I was always alone every night of the week. Between 5 and 6, I was done with my paper out and no one was home. And it was before church night.
Nice.
Confirmation class.
Yeah.
So I found out, I read a lot of crazy stuff that are too much for me at 6th grade. But they did say you could put something in your ass. And the only thing I could think of was my toothbrush. Like not the bristle head, but the rounded end. And
Yeah.
however, it was a Sonicare toothbrush
Nice.
that I did turn on.
Nice.
And they're thick. They're not like a pen. They're,
They're
maybe
like
a little,
several pens.
maybe like a little smaller than a quarter, maybe about the size of a quarter,
Maybe like
with a
a
rounded tip.
like a girthy nickel.
And
title.
Yeah, like a girthy nickel. And so 7th grade me put a vibrating toothbrush in his ass, came to completion. And I know what you're wondering, audience, Ben. What did it feel like?
Please.
Feels a lot like having a toothbrush in your ass. You know that post-nut clarity you get? This was a unique, novel experience for young Matt. Going, oh,
I have to brush my
there's so
teeth
many,
with this.
exactly, so many thoughts. You go, I got to clean this up. Now I have more to clean up. And then every time I use that toothbrush, I knew where it had been.
I mean, was your asshole at least like 2 shades whiter?
I didn't use the bristles. I wish.
Why you gotta ruin the joke, man?
I know. Well, it's a podcast. This isn't a stand-up
God
routine.
damn it. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
Wow. Here's the thing. Did you, though, come to the girthiness of the toothbrush, or was it the vibrating sensation?
It definitely added to the experience, but it wasn't worth it for me at the time.
So could you say, in your opinion, does size matter?
Well, in a way, yeah. Because I've had smaller things in there, and it doesn't nearly... the pressure of it is kind of where the fun comes from. I might cut this out.
I really like how we stared in each other's eyes.
And I said
while
fun comes from...
While you earnestly explained coming from your ass.
Yeah. It's, I mean,
Your nipple or...
Well, that's not what was in Google. Reddit, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's a mistake.
So is it normal? I don't know. I think it's like it's a pleasurable sensation. I think it's very homophobic to think that only like gay men can enjoy stuff back there, So I would say, yeah, it's normal. It's normal to want to explore as long as you're doing it in a safe and consensual way.
I'm going to say it's not normal.
Why do you always got to do that?
Okay, again, if you take something out that is normal, like wanting a soda or wanting a Zyn.
But would you agree that
you switched it with inserting something into your asshole, which, by the way, also, we're not talking about putting something in your asshole. We're talking about someone else putting something in your asshole. That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, but I think sexual exploration is extremely normal.
And I'm not saying that sexual exploration isn't normal. I'm saying wanting it on a daily basis, that's not normal.
It's like a holiday meal. It's not an every week type of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But it could be. I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum.
I'll yuck people's yums because some people need to realize that their yum is yucky.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that's
in rare cases, it is yucky.
And that is why it is so good to want that yum because it is yucky.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a pretty open.
That's what I'm saying.
Explorative person.
People should yuck people's yums.
So it makes the yum better.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
So
we've all eaten like a fucking granola bar with chocolate chips in it. You're like, this is okay. But then you eat a candy bar and you're like, this is the way this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Bad for you. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be naughty because that's what makes it good. Little perverts. All
right, Ben. Hey, I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you.
But I think I'll make the stance that sexual exploration is healthy, fun, and you can have a hell of a time doing it as long as it's safe and consensual.
I'm moving on to the next question.
Okay, that's fine.
Who's had the most impact on your life? Wow.
Straight from the
Wow.
gutter to heaven, huh?
That's really
It's interesting.
That is what the jar does.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I think an easy answer is like parents.
Parents for sure.
But that's just a proximity thing, like when you're growing up, or lack thereof. Honestly, like a lack of parent can have just as much of an impact. Maybe you can speak to that. You know, I had a few teachers. We've talked about teachers before too.
Yeah.
You know, teachers are really, we should be paying them more because they really have an impact on your life. But, you know, some friends too. My life would be completely different. I would say probably like outside of parents, the person who's had the biggest impact on my life has been my best friend. We've been best friends since kindergarten when we got sat next to each other.
Yeah.
And then we also ended up living like a block away for at least when we met each other. So we would walk home together every day. Man, we've gotten into some shit.
Did you?
We've almost died together. We've gone to overseas together. I mean, we've just done everything.
You buy toothbrushes together?
No, but he knows about it. I think I probably told him instantly.
Yeah.
He also is one who told me, he's like, dude, you know what you got to do? Microwave a banana peel for like 15 seconds and it feels like a vagina. So I've also done that.
You know what? Here's my sexual exploration. Never did that, but I did wet a rag in the shower and I pretended it was a vagina. And let me tell you,
wow,
doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, it's pretty gritty.
It's
ribbed not for your pleasure.
It's raspy, not for my pleasure.
Yeah,
it feels like a smoker's voice.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
It's not the same.
But I commend the effort. You were looking.
Also, here's a question while we're on the subject. When you were a kid, and this is exclusively for men, women, you're about to learn something new. Did you ever think of like, obviously you thought about all the places you can stick your dick into?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But did you ever think about like the spot in between a fridge door?
No. But I fucked the chair once.
Nice. Going
Yeah.
full JD Vance. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
What kind of chair?
It was just like an ottoman, you know, like
Okay.
and
Leather?
No.
Suede?
Microfiber.
Ooh.
And like I just like finagled it in this like between the cushion and the side of the chair.
Were you like checking for the remote and then it just kind of happened, or
No,
was this intentional?
It was intentional. It came to mind.
You've been
I was like
eyeing it up this whole you were eyeing it up the whole week.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, next Wednesday when I got my alone time.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, it was weird. I did not complete that one. It was too awkward, but you
Yeah.
try.
Yeah,
I think every guy's probably tried to suck his own dick too.
Yeah.
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 And you like all of a sudden you're like sitting on the couch with your legs up on the back of the couch, like trying to like doesn't work. I know some guys can do it, not me though. It's like folding the bowling ball if I'm bending over.
Yeah, I can't do that. Mainly because my hams, they're very tight. They're very tight, and I can't.
I've had tight hams lately too. I think I'm sitting in an office chair too much. I got to get up and go for walks during the day or something.
I'm not stretchy enough.
Yeah.
But
well, what about for you? Most influential person, or who had the most impact?
You know, you are right to say that a lack thereof parent would have an impactful life, but I will give the credit to my mom for not just one being the good parent in my life, but also just introducing me to comedy, man. Like she would buy like comedy albums all the time. And so like as a kid, I get just really influenced my humor and sensibilities. So
yeah, for me, it was like Comedy Central Presents type stuff.
Yeah.
Like Comedy Central Presents Dane Cook opened up a world for me.
That's a jar.
I think there's so many people who share that opinion too. It just like, it came out, I was the right age.
Yeah.
I had never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
My friend showed me his Blue Collar Comedy CD. It was like one of their specials on CD. And there were some funny bits, but like watching it really opened up my eyes to like the way Dane Cook used like his body, like his whole body for the performance. And I actually talked to Dane Cook. You know that story.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You tweeted at him.
Yeah. And like, no, we talked, it was like a Twitter room.
Oh,
so like he was it was before a show and he would just like log in and be like, who wants to chat, and it's almost like a phone call, but it's in front of a bunch of people who are also waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. He plays a lot of video games too.
I've heard that. Heard he's a big Warzone guy.
Yeah. I will say that I haven't enjoyed his comedy as I've gotten older, but I don't know. There's so much to enjoy now. It's like impossible to like everything.
That is true. Yeah. His older, I liked it. He's got a lot of great bits that are
classic. I couldn't even remember him, but I remember laughing. And like, there's some like things you find in life, and when you watch them, it's like, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like when I watched Step Brothers for the first time with my friends in high school, it was truly like, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
It was so goofy and so weird and so funny, and like so many quotable phrases. You know, Superbad was kind of the same way. Borat was huge.
Oh,
man.
Borat.
I snuck into Borat in theaters, and I don't think I've ever laughed as hard at a movie. It's just off the rails the whole time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he got away with it.
Unparalleled. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Bruno, I didn't enjoy that one as much. To say my best friend is who I snuck into Borat with, and it was like life-changing for us. And when Bruno came out, we were thinking it was going to be the same thing, but we were also older. Sneaking in, I think you appreciate things more when you're kind of being mischievous. And Bruno just there were some great moments, but it just did not hit like Borat did. That was it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So your mom, I'll give that to you. It's right there.
I was just trying not to look. I was just trying to make eye contact while
It was for me, it was my best friend who I will not dox on the podcast.
Nice.
Because I try not to have him part of my content life.
Well, now we know he stuck his dick in a thing.
Yeah, no one knows who he is. You've never met him.
But he knows who he is.
He's not going to listen to this.
Just kidding. He doesn't support you and hates us.
He's supported me way too much. He's done with it.
What do you do to get over a creative block? See, that's a good thinker. Not very funny.
Yeah.
But the jar will provide, so I'm not worried.
Yeah. Well, creative block is interesting. I don't really believe in writer's block it's not like a sickness. You know, like it's not something that just happens to you randomly and you're like, well, I got this. I can't do anything. It's more of a mindset of perfectionism, I think. And you're judging yourself too hard.
Yeah.
And the way I get over that is when I sit down to make something, no matter what it is, whether I'm writing a song or working on a video or doing anything creative, I allow myself to make the worst thing possible. I say, because it always gets better.
True.
You crying, Ben?
No, I yawned. Yeah.
I thought you just thought what I was saying was so beautiful.
No, you've said way better.
Yeah, I called my best friend, again, he's coming up a lot. He's the one that gave me a name for this. It's called the sludge stage.
Sludge stage.
And whenever you first make something, just let yourself make the worst thing ever, because it's so hard to make something from nothing. But if you can just make something really bad, the fact that you know it's bad allows you to make it better. You're like, oh, I don't like this. I'm going to change that. Then you can edit it and then you can build upon it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another professional career advice tip. Don't be afraid to look dumb.
Yeah.
When you're trying to brainstorm a solution with a team, I just throw bullshit on the table and then people will be like, I don't like this, that, how about this? And I'm like, already we're on the up and up.
I would say, honestly, that's the only thing to do. There's no secret way. Like, we have this thing we do sometimes in Eau Claire called the Punchline Punch Out.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
I did that. Yeah, which is a great show by Trevor Anderson from the Cities. And what it is two comedians will go against each other, writing a 5-minute comedy set about a subject they are given 2 days prior to performing.
I actually think it's 24 hours.
So like the last one I got, the subject was water, and boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's about as funny as you think it is.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, well, how do you make water funny? So then I'm just writing water and then just like all the things associated with water. And then I'm just writing. I'm just like, you're literally just a stream of consciousness of whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with whether it's writing or drawing or, I mean, trying to think of any other thing that's creative that you want to do. You just have to like,
You have to get in the mud.
you have to put the shit down in order to get to the good stuff. Like, even if you know it doesn't work, do it.
Yes.
So that way you just know it doesn't work. Or maybe it might spark something that'll put you in the direction to go into. It doesn't matter. Just do the shit stuff to get to the good stuff.
You have to go through the motion of making a good thing before you get a good thing.
Exactly.
You have to like pretend you're making a good thing almost.
Yeah.
That's another thing I've noticed is like when I was first starting to write songs, I would wait for inspiration. But inspiration will also find you if you just open yourself up to it. And so you start, you're like, I got nothing. So you just start noodling on the guitar and just give yourself the freedom to make something bad. You'll probably find a lick you like.
And that's the crazy thing about guitar playing too, is that you'll just be like noodling around on it, and then you'll hit like 2 notes.
And you're like, ooh, that was kind of cool.
And then you'll play it differently, and then you'll play it and you'll add on something, and it just snowballs into something.
One time I was in a studio with my band and we had no ideas, and the producer just instructed us to make noise. And then he's like, make noise until I hear something cool. And then we did it. And then that was like the intro to the song.
Nice.
We were all just like making noise with our instruments, and I was just singing random things over what they were doing. And like eventually like a little postcard hook comes, and then you're like, oh, that was interesting. Let's build around. How do we get into that from a song? And so a lot of the creative act is building from taking a little piece of something you made and just like building around it.
Yeah.
But it's one of the best things I think to do in life is creating stuff. I think everyone should do it, even if you don't want to sell it, even if you don't care. I think, and creativity there's no bounds, you know. So you could, if that's cooking for you, if that's tending to your garden or whatever, I think everyone should have something where they're being creative. I think it's such an innate human ability to be creative and make something out of nothing. To not do that ever in your life, it would be such a shame.
Agreed. And to shoehorn the conversation back to me, I'm doing comedy tonight in a leather jacket because I'm trying to see if maybe that'll do something to my jokes. It'll add a little extra zhuzh. If it'll do something to whatever.
Yeah, try new things.
And I don't like it because if I end up being an asshole, I end up feeling like an asshole. No one wants to feel like an asshole. But I do want to feel like an asshole with a toothbrush in it. And maybe in order for me to do that, I have to wear a leather jacket.
Yeah.
So
you got to try new things.
You got to try new things.
You got to Google how to make jerking off feel better.
Once
in a while.
You're going to have that creative cum block where you're like, how do I come better?
Yeah.
And you got to try the toothbrush. Remember that the next time you're in a creative block, think, what's my toothbrush?
Yeah.
And you only find your toothbrush by just going through the motions.
Yeah. Ben, we have to go to last question because we're losing light.
We are losing light.
We're losing light.
But man, I really liked us tying that all together.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Well, you tied it, not me.
We did. Usually you tie it, but
it was nice.
I'm getting better.
Do you want to lead the manifest this time because of your great tie work? Or I can do it.
Hold on. You do it. I was really excited to lay down a beat for you. So you do your thing, and then I'll. So this is manifesting.
Leather jacket, I look like a fool. Leather jacket, please tell me I'm cool. Leather jacket, questions know no bounds. Leather jacket, give me something good for once. Give me something good for once. Jar of pain, give me something good for once. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
You know, when we do it that way, I always find I'm like, that's kind of a cool hook. Yeah.
Look at that.
That's how we do it.
That's literally how you do it.
That's how it works.
Fucking full circle. All right, last question. Should I turn in my abusive ex-boyfriend for selling weed?
Well, here we go.
How good's the weed?
Yeah, I also like weed is like legal now. Who's still selling weed?
Also,
who doesn't have a storefront?
you're gonna have to buy some fentanyl, put it in the weed, and then turn them in. Because if you just turn them in for weed, you're gonna look like a snitch.
Here's a wild idea.
And no one's gonna think you're cool.
Here's a wild idea. Do you have any? I hate asking victims if they have proof, but if you have any sort of proof, turn them in for abuse.
Yeah, you
could totally do that.
You should definitely do that.
But if weed's the thing, I mean, screw it. That's not a career.
That's not. Yeah.
And honestly, it's a slap on the wrist, but it is a nice little fuck you.
Honestly, you're just gonna make him get more friends because
that's a great point too.
He has weed, and boom, now you just made him cool.
Yeah, but you also can just go to Steve's Hemp. You don't have to go to any back alleys. You don't have to go in any weird apartments. You don't have to worry about what's in it or if it's laced with anything. You just go. Weed's basically legal now. They've figured out how to make it legal here, even though it's not legal in quotations. Like THCA feels the same as regular THC.
Yeah.
Delta 9, which I don't love as much because it's like it just makes me feel foggy and cloudy, but that works too. And as humans, we are snowflakes. Different strokes for different folks. Sometimes things work better for other people, different strains, things like that. You can get legal weed now, and you shouldn't worry. You shouldn't have a drug dealer anymore.
You shouldn't. You really
don't
shouldn't.
Need one. You instead of a drug dealer, find a storefront.
And you know what? See if that storefront has a job application, and then give it to your drug dealer.
Well, let's not give him career advice. He's an abuser. I say call him in. What an ass.
Wait, what do you say?
She should turn him in for weed.
Don't turn him in for weed.
Why not?
Because again, we just went over it. It's a minor offense. It's just going to make him look cool and make you look like a snitch.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ben. I didn't even listen when you were saying that. I apologize.
No, I know. You're thinking of the next thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is buy fentanyl, lace the weed with fentanyl.
That's going to kill someone.
And then frame him, turn him in for having weed laced with fentanyl, because that's what's going to put him away for good.
Yeah, you have to make it a good case. It can't just be weed.
It can't just be weed.
But if you're going to turn him in, maybe plant some cocaine on him. You know?
A little coca?
Go over there and be like, I want to make things right. Slip a bag of cocaine in his drawer. And then do it. There are ways. And you're smart enough to find them.
We believe in you.
I'm glad you're okay now. I hope all your dreams come true.
Find your toothbrush. Title.
Find your toothbrush.